Hello, I'm Dr. Jacqueline with Shockwages University Hospital and Club. This is going to be your general monthly reading for all signs. We'll start off with the air signs, then we'll move accordingly throughout the reading. May you find tools that you find necessary to your everyday growth, resilience, and rejuvenation. Namaste. Feel free to check the description box for my email. That way you can receive the link to Shockwages University. Namaste. Spirit, what messages do you have for the air signs? Ten of Wands. Yeah, the Ten of Wands right there. She's kind of sitting there. It's like, she's looking at who she used to be, or her physical capability of being able to move through situations without feeling desolate emotionally, still keeping some type of guidance near, but could be someone that, has enough for everyday sustainability on top of it's like going through a time where you needed your everyday needs, food, shelter, water, but it's like when you have that, your emotional anatomy feels depleted. It's like you're sitting inside to feel left outside of your own human. The Strength card, as that tornado comes up there, it's being able to weather the storm. I was going to say get through anything, but it's being able to weather the storm and knowing how to use your thoughts and your mind to protect yourself instead of being active in a fashion that requires you to clean up after you do it or having to deal with aftermath. There's a certain thing, it's just getting a task completed without feeling overworked. Eight of Swords. Knowing how to get out of a situation mentally. It's like mirrored by the Ten of Wands. It's not knowing, with the Hangman. It's not knowing how to get out of your own way, how to not place the need for you to protect yourself on others. By the way, this is for Aquarius, Gemini, Libra. Two of Pentacles. Overall energy, mirrored by the Hierophant. You want to take heed to the signs of the universe when it comes to purity. Purity isn't always clean and squeaky, Purity is what was your most true option, and did you take it? Did you take the most optimal route, and make it your own? Are your intentions justified for the overall good? So it's it's noticing when the universe goes, the actions that you seek to make are not that hard to understand, because you have to understand your true beauty in order to make the truest, most optimal decision. And not knowing if one is good enough, not knowing if you're strong enough, not knowing if spirit loves you and hears you enough has been the journey. This is for sun, moon, rising, air sign, however it applies to you. Let's continue. So spirit's going, hey, let's put these together and see how this looks. You're either going to sit and you're going to fight this storm, or you're going to look at your actions and extend your hand and say, hey, this must go, that must go. It's prioritizing your elemental purpose. What in you needs to be expressed, and which will allow you to feel like your most optimal, truest form of self-respect. You want to feel heard, understood, and you're tired of repeating yourself. So, there we go. Okay, so, in order to get this Ten of Pentacles feeling, you want to feel in control of your values, your morals, and your worth. But not, let's go beyond control. You want to feel conscious of exactly what your strengths are. It's not that you have no strengths. It's trying to decipher just how strong your strengths are, which will answer the question to timing. When we don't know when something is going to occur, how something is going to occur, there's the option to force it or to manipulate it by making a situation in order to create a birth, a premature birth. There may be something that may be birthing something, and or there may be somebody that's pregnant that could be with the idea, it could be with a new life, it could be with just a change for the better. But it's like, it's going to involve a change of actions. Involve a change of actions and mindset. And that's going to bring about your greatest strength, because this new path is linked to you getting out your way. And it's an obstacle that's faced every day. It's an obstacle that's faced every day. It's a challenge that has to be met every day. And it's been a lifelong journey of the same question. And it's just saying, hey, what is the most truest you going to bring into your life once you accept seeing it? It's life offering you a trophy. And it's like, hey, you're going to get your trophy, There's a prize for you in life. So now we're moving to the fire signs. Yep, you have Aries, Capricorn, Leo. Or not Capricorn, Aries, Leo, Sagittarius. Yeah. King of Pentacles, Two of Pentacles. Making the decision to no longer be the tail, or trying to figure out, there's an investment that needs to be made. In the past, you're looking at, it's like playing bingo. And you look at all the times on the card, you like, damn. Once you look up and somebody yells bingo, you look up, you like, I didn't mark this damn number. I had this number. I could have been one. So it's looking like at all the times that winning has been an option. And yes, it's creating that way on how to move toward a family unit, a family structure. There's a child that stands by them. That green entity, red, yellow, and green. In the green, there's a child. And the masculine energy is just at least holding his hand on the child like this. Like, connection. Got the wife, got the husband, got the child, you know, and our food is guarded. We laid our swords down. When it comes to fighting at each other, there's just a meeting, you know. So it's learning to be thankful for the bare minimum, because wanting more may cause you to defy the timing that more comes in. And that is the pinnacle that either is going to catapult or corrupt. So business wise, it's making the decision to no longer, it's fighting like this. Yeah, the Two of Pentacles. It's a decision to not feel like this, but wouldn't you rather feel like that instead of like that? Rather feel like that instead of like that? And eventually, this new beginning comes because there's a recognition of value. You know, there's two paths that can be taken. And upon taking this path, it's someone celebrating a new decision in the midst of the most mediocre scenery, but it's of the most beneficial. It's like being the maverick in it, you know. So it's saying the only thing that the situations in your life have in common is that Spirit is saying change, shine. How bright are you going to shine? How dull are you going to dim your light? Possibly. You know, and it's like those are the questions, and it's looking at certain situations, you're like, oh my God, what used to be boring is interesting, and what used to be interesting is boring. So it's like, oh my goodness. How do you adapt to the new you? Because that's going to cause too much of a change. You're going to need a new social circle, a new mindset, a new form of communication, all of that. And it's preparing one for change over challenge. I believe that you will be just fine on your journey. Moving forward. Six of Cups. Because that allows that 7, that new beginning is putting the past behind you. And it's allowing self-worth to be the plateau of everything that you choose to do. It brings about self-worth. If you never want to take a loss or never want to misappreciate a gain, your most optimal level of gratitude must be present. So, yeah. What seems difficult is actually, you know, it had to come through in a form where it'll cause you to reassess yourself and have to gain respect as well as give it without feeling disrespected, but at the same time, you may be dealing with somebody that's mad at God and not you. And that has nothing to do with you. And it's piss poor if you ask me. So, it's working on communication. Earth signs. Virgo, Taurus, Capricorn. Spirit, what messages do you have for the sign of Earth entities? Yeah, Ace of Cups. Nine of Wands, Ace of Cups. Making it through a difficult situation. It's like you rather do the work in a fashion where when you finally do drink from your cup, you know it was well prepared. It was well worth it. You like to put in and invest in order to justify you celebrating. But in the past, it's also asking you to reassess. Yeah, reassess it by respect, adding the your mind, the beauty of your mind, challenging your mind. Yeah, justice. So you have the Justice card in the future, the Knight of Wands in the past, and yes, Ace of Pentacles, and the King of Swords. So it's allowing you to say that it's easy to do things a certain way over and over and over, but why not grow? In order to grow, I mean, growth comes with instructions, and if you're the giver of instructions, you have to receive instructions. You can't ask somebody to lay their self-worth down because of not being able to trust if the source is mature enough. But it's also reflected by having to learn from. You may work at a job where your boss doesn't think that you're equipped enough to teach them anything, but secretly they have desires that go beyond the job, and the job may be causing strain that actually they don't pay you enough to go through. Um, because it's not about the money. Your self-respect requires a different tender. So it's causing a problem. It's blatant disrespect. And there's no reason to have to not seek justice. And true justice is from prayer. It's your experiences versus why is this happening? Because you're not standing up to the injustice. You think that people are so much bigger than you that you don't have to have a voice and say, hey, stop it. It's okay. You matter too. And if a person matters to them, when you say stop it, they will stop. They should. So, moving right along. Therefore, Ten of Cups over the Ace of Pentacles. Congratulations. You know. And the Knight of Swords. It's no longer denying the thoughts of the universe on how to calculate the weight of your past in your life. You don't want it to weigh you down. You also don't want it to not have meaning. You don't want to be brash about things. You rather for things to be. It's not that being brash is bad. It's just more like, It's redundant. It's that redundant to the point where you're like, I could be brash. But how do I switch it up this time? Why not? So, it's not end of the reading. Yeah. 5-3. Let's take it. It's not fighting against the universe and taking the messages like out of fear and like, oh, am I doing it wrong? Because that's the messages I'm interpreting, or is spirit giving me guidance and I can't plagiarize spirit? I must take what spirit tells me and also grow it like a seed within myself. So even if you have a message, you still want to do those necessary steps to comprehend what spirit is saying. It's like having the reading class or taking English, but just valuing language arts. So you want to balance that in order to get a healthier commitment plan. To see this, you have the Knight of Cups. That's finding how to heal through unfavorable forms of needing to protect yourself. And that's nourishing a mental burden that one knows how to alleviate, but it takes for self-love to be the foundation. And if you look closely, that guy's putting a flower on a set of javelins. Like, that's not something, you can't put something dainty next to something dangerous. It's not evenly yoked. So, in order to attract something that's loving, or that you want to love you, you have to be willing to give love without pause. If you plan on pausing in the level of love and self-respect and dignity, then that's that on that. Like, there's a such thing as doing magic or, incantations, but do it as a healer. You can't do it to make you may be dealing with somebody that is that disconnected from spirit, compassion, that their give a damn is shot. And it's sad. But when you're at least able to recognize it as that and call it out, spirit's like, okay. She knows that how to call in for defense. So, it's not going to affect her. And him or her, however it goes. And, when you're that exposed, when you're challenging a person who would rather pray for you than put you down, they can't come to that level. So feel protected. Let's go for the water signs. Pisces, Cancer, and Scorpio. Spirit, what messages do you have? Seven of Swords. Anxiety, 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 and anxiety. Queen of Cups. Somebody manipulative. Somebody that is figuring out how to emotionally do things in order to get a response, in order to not have to deal with growth. And they see the messages from the past of saying, okay, it didn't work this way last time, so why do it again? Ten of Wands is knowing that, okay, don't say it. Queen of Pentacles, it's saying pick a way of thinking and stick to it via value and moral. So you have her, she's focused on saying, you know what, I'm not going to wither away from how I communicate. And this up here is going, hey, but the intuition in the brow, my vision matters. And the fact is, Spirit is saying, I'm showing you that if I give you something, or if you want to be respected, it has to be equal. Because this person, she's just in the water with her dress on, looking like that's somebody that got left at the altar, and they was getting married on the boat, and she just jumped in the water like shit. I don't know if he hopped on a yacht and left. She just like, I'm coming. I ain't about to get caught. I'm going to scoop the water up in a cup, throw it out. I don't give a damn how I get through this water. Or she might not be chasing him. She might be leaving him. She might have left him on the boat. And she like, shit, I'll get home somehow. Just, you never know. Because she's just like, look, I can't do this. This is a natural burden. Or the other way around. You may be tied to a masculine energy that's not following their intuition, or the spiritual signs on saying, hey, deal with your anxiety better. Like, look at how you freaking out. Like, look at this. Like, look at this. Look at his hand pointing to that. Like, look at this. You got flowers, swords, butterflies, like transformation changes. Like, you're supposed to be changing, but you making a flower out of the top of a sword. Like, what are you doing? And it's like, Deep inside, a person is choosing them. Like, I'm not about to do the emotional manipulation of feeling like I have to make something correct when deep inside she feels alone. So now I just lay the card back down. This is how it's look. And he's like, look. But you see how he wants to tell her something, but he's not even looking at her. So the spirit is like, oh, I'm giving you a different perspective to look at her, or your physical energy. Your physical energy is like, look, I'm giving you a different way to do things. Which is, instead of always overthinking about, is this the right way? Is this the right thing? Or, am I really alone or am I not or whatnot? Your spirit is like, you got to start with you first. In order to have a healthy relationship, you must date you first. So spirit is pushing you to be like, look, you're going to have to learn to drink your wine by yourself and eat your meal by yourself and still smile before you have somebody sitting across that table sharing a dinner with you. If you don't appreciate what you're sharing with somebody, why give you somebody to be accompanied with a blessing that you don't even see in front of you before you see another person in order to appreciate it? You should already be thankful for what you have in order for you to want somebody to share it with you, and vice versa. So everybody that is like, you may be, Ace of Pentacles, you're with the devil. So Ace of Pentacles, the devil, and the High Priestess. It's actual, like,